Hi, Zizaran here with another video for Harvest. This is about the Gauntlet race that is starting on Friday, and you'll be able to get invites. We'll be advertising that everywhere on the 20th. Public invites, and these are free for everybody, is starting at 3 p.m. BST. You'll be able to join on my channel through the Racing Discord anywhere. So 3 p.m. BST. This is a crazy race. We're over £10,000 now in the prize pool. It's crazy. This is all community race. So it's awesome how much the community came together for this. And I'm going to show you guys and talk a little bit about the Gauntlet right now. So you see the mods here on the right. This is enabled in every zone. So it is actually incredibly hard. And the hardest part is actually the first two acts. And that's basically what I want to talk about here. It actually means that it's very, very likely if you're playing a melee character or even ranged that you can die to Hillock. And honestly, a lot of people quit and give up here. So that is actually like very, very important to realize so that you don't get discouraged. Because honestly, the hardest part is the early part. I would say just like Act 1 in general, very hard because it's so different from how you normally play. And then you also have Act 2 with the Weaver. Once you get past Weaver, that's the biggest speed bump. Also really, for melee, you want to have the always attack without moving. And then you want to go counterclockwise on Hillock. This might seem silly, but it's a bit of a no-hit challenge. Look how much he hits for, and that's without the sword. That means that he can one-shot you with the sword. So if if you're Templar, Marauder, Duelist, any of the melee classes, it is incredibly hard. So when you're attacking with the Shadow, you have one fast animation and one slow. So you can kind of get used to that after a few deaths. So let's take a look. How do you best proceed for such a hard league? Well, that means that you want something that's solid early, and obviously, especially something that's solid later and don't need a lot of uniques. It's a SSF league, right? So it's all the added challenges of normal. Now, depending on what class you get, you might not be able to get a decoy totem. So what I do a lot of the time is I make a ranger and then just run through and do the mudflats. You also really want to check here for like +1 cold, +1 lightning, or +1 chaos, depending on what you're going to play, because getting +1 spell gems early on or farming that with harvest is huge for this league. I want to show you guys a quick like run through of the coast, and I might get one shot here, so I don't usually, if this isn't my first character, I don't put on anything crazy for the coast. Coast is honestly the most dangerous place in Act 1, I would say. Any of the cannibals can instantly one-shot you, so you just want to make sure that you don't get hit at all. The main reason I want to make this video is to try to encourage people to go a little further. So many people, we usually end up having like 2,000 people join, and I think only like 100 people, maybe 200, get past Act 1, to give an indication of how hard it is. So once you get here, the next area is a lot easier. It's still very, very hard, but I usually like to run to here at least so that I don't have to be worried about losing it. I'm going to log on a higher level character now, and as you saw, I had a ranger there. That's level 4. That's just to buy the decoy totem. And then I keep that character to buy decoys for all my characters. So the character that I've been practicing with and that killed Weaver, and honestly it was a very smooth Weaver kill. I had a decoy totem and stayed close to the Weaver the entire time. And yeah, it was amazing. Now I'm just farming Comb Stronghold. Ideally, I would farm this to like level 42, 43, because over leveling this is huge. And then before doing Comb and the Resto, well, I've actually done them already. But normally, before doing Comb and the Resto, I would ascend. So now, you can see that even though it's crazy hard in the start, and everything still does hit for a lot, it's a lot easier now. It's going to be ascending as Trickster, and then I'm going to do Essence Drain, Soul Rend, and stuff like that. So very similar to the build that I have guides for. Pretty much exactly that. Yeah, you can see that already now, it feels a bit like normal. The big difference here is that you really want to overlevel. You don't want to get cocky, and you want to rely a lot on your decoy totem. Any boss that has a projectile has a probably 90% chance of one-shotting you. Some examples being like Malachi, Dodri, and just like everything that has a projectile can very easily one-shot you. So very excited to look at how everyone's going to do in this event. I'm hoping people are going to play a little bit further than normal. Maps are basically around the same as normal, because instead of alching them, you end up running them blue. But even though I killed Comb, let's look at Comb here and compare it to normal. You can see that the walls are shooting out more projectiles than normal. And I basically just want to run around and dodge and make sure that I don't get hit by the slam. Obviously, that does a lot more damage than normal. Now, I am already basically resist capped. I only need to get some fire resist, which, you know, is very bad to do this fight with not capped fire resist. But Harvest carry is very hard here. So let's take a look at what my gear is already at level 39. I'm using, this is an item level 14 wand, and this is 13. So that's high enough to get like tier 6 or something. Yeah, tier 5 chaos dot multiplier. And this one can get tier 4. So then I have like the chaos over time multiplier plus the +1 chaos spell skill gems. And that carries super hard all the way to maps. In Quarry, I'm going to get an item level 64 wand and make a either with like high spell damage or +1. And you can see like I have a craft to build for the essence string guide here. So you can see how to make that in Quarry very easily. Everything else you can see the same trend. It's life and resist. So we've stopped a lot and done a lot of quarry farming, sorry, not quarry farming, harvest farming to get early resist cap. You might be wondering, how early do you want to resist cap in this? Act 2. That might seem crazy because I know there are people that normally don't resist cap in Act 2. But in this, even though it's minus 40% to all resistances, I actually usually resist cap as early as Act 2 or try to get very close to it. So it's very, very different than normal. And over leveling gives you such a big boost here. It is incredible. So that's like the #1 takeaway from this. A lot of people aren't going to overlevel as much. A lot of people would be really, really worried. How well are other people doing? Oh, well, maybe Tai isn't overleveling. Some people are still going to be trying to go fast, and you'll see a lot of those people can early die. Very, very few people actually kept their character in the last race that they started on day 1. A lot of it ends up being rerolls. So if you're like 1 or 5 or 10 hours slower than other people on day 1, it doesn't really matter because once you get to maps, you have a lot bigger chance of surviving. The rippiest thing is like Conquerors are insane, Aziri is insane. Like there's a lot of crazy stuff here. These guys can actually be like fairly dangerous too, just because they do have like some pretty high impact damage. But we can take a quick look. The rest is actually probably rather easy here. You know, he just gets the speed and the damage increase. He doesn't get anything from like the projectiles. Dodery, absolutely insane. If she hits you, you are gonna die. She'll do like 2-3k damage at this point. Marauders might already have 2k life at this point, which is really nice. And you can see D'Arresto here is not too bad compared to normal. I just like curse him, slap him with my spell slinger, and he pretty much dies before he gets to even like attack back onto me. And the decoy's already taunted him since before he comes up. So the decoy is going to be the first target. So D'Arresto, I would say, is very, very hard to die to compared to Comb, because Comb is genuinely very, very hard. So he's already dead now. There's nothing he can do. Boom. And then like Piety, Malachi, everything going forward is pretty whippy. Kitov as well, not really too bad in this. It's mostly about the speed increase. And yeah, you can see the gear, the skill tree as well. Very, very similar to the normal Essence Strength Contagion. So I hope this helps. I hope you guys are excited. Remember, 3 p.m. BST on the 20th, which is a Thursday. So on Thursday, we'll be talking about it on my channel and helping with invites there in all of the racing discords and everything. And then it starts on Saturday. I'm pretty sure all the like start timers are in the racing document as well. So we've tried to make it like very, very easily accessible for everybody with countdowns and everything like that. Very, very excited for this. Thank you again for all the community support. It's more than we ever thought about. We thought we were gonna get like between $3,000 and $5,000. Now we're at 12 or 13. So yeah, I hope you guys are as excited as I am. And there's more stuff coming soon. Bigger stuff. Foreshadowing. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for everything. And try to die less than I do.